escape across the skies when I'm with you.
What's up, guys? New Cinewhoop today. It is the HGLRC Veyron, and this is the Veyron right here. It is a Bugatti, actually named after a Bugatti, which is kind of cool. It has a 4 and 6S and DJI options, which is nice. This is the lightest of the 3-inch Cinewhoops that I have, and I pretty much have them all at this point. This is 136 millimeter wheelbase, and it has a 2mm top plate. That's why it's so ultra light. But look at that, mine cracked, and here was my whoopsie. I hit the kill switch and broke the top frame the first flight. We have a TPU back mount here, which is kind of nice. We also have those foam bumpers, XT60 antenna post, and we have the HGLRC hammer, which I have seen before on the channel. But what's nice is we also have the Caddx Ratel in the analog version. Very good FPV camera for 5.8 FPV, and we have the forward 600 milliwatt VTX that also has smart audio, and Zeus all-in-one F4 flight controller with 35 amp ESCs running on 4 or 6S of your choice. And we also have 3-inch rad 3045 props on here, and they have a pretty tight spacing in between the ducts, which is nice. 1408 2400 kV motors on mine, so I do have the 6S version, which is awesome. And on the bottom we have 4 bolts holding it to the frame. That bottom plate is just a little bit thicker, and let's see here, we get 248 grams, the lightest of the bunch. Now the Bumblebee 283, and let's check out the Taycan. The Taycan is 363, but that's also a DJI version, and that one is the analog version, 263 right there for the Green Hornet. And now back to the Veyron, we're looking at 248. Now with a 1300, we're looking at 413 without your GoPro or action camera. So there they are all. Let's go ahead now and put my 360 camera on there. And I think we should go out and do some flying. And let me show you that mishap one more time. My first flight, first 15 seconds, go figure, I crashed because I hit the disarm switch on accident instead of the mode switch. So let's go ahead and get this quad up in the air. I'm gonna show you the FPV view down on the bottom left-hand corner, as you can see there on the screen. It's not gonna be totally in real time with the 360 camera that we're looking at today, but look how cool that looks. I'm changing the camera angle as we fly along, and I'm able to change and make keyframes inside my phone now with the 1R app. It's really, really cool. So I can spin that camera around in a 360, and where I want it to be at any certain given time during my flight, I can just click a button and make a keyframe. It's really cool. We're gonna test out the flight characteristic also of this quad in this review. We're gonna push this VTX down in between these metal poles out in this tree field right here. This is a little tree farm out in Oregon. And in between the spikes where these trees are planted, the 5.8 video has a hard time making it through. So we're gonna see how it does on 400 milliwatt. I believe you can also crank this one up to 600. Isn't that a cool perspective? Kind of swinging that camera all the way around. You can see part of the quad cut off there. The higher up you get your 360 camera, the more of the quad you're gonna see, but the less stable your quad becomes. So it's kind of a trade-off if you want to make some cool 360 videos. And now we're going to go shoot down this row right here, and I have really nice control with the Veyron. Next to those posts, you can see it break up momentarily and come right back. Now I'm going to get in between both rows right there, and I completely lost it right there. So I was pretty much flying blind for a second there. If you get in that situation, the first thing you should do is throttle up and get back up in the air as high as you possibly can. That's the best way to get your signal back to your goggles again. Even if you fly into a branch, it's sometimes worth it because you can make it out of some pretty crazy situations if you just get some altitude up. Again, swinging that camera around, making some keyframes. Really nice flying. And this one flies very similar to most of the other ones that I have flown. If you're gonna ask me which one you should I get the Green Hornet? Should I get the Taycan? Or should I get the Veyron? Well, it's really up to you guys at this point, because there's so many of them out there. And if you want to have a 6S version, get this one. This is the one that will probably give you the longest flight time out of all of them, because it is also the lightest. On the 4S 1300, right there, I'm coming in for a landing at 5 minutes, and that's carrying a heavy 360 camera. I believe that my 1R is actually heavier than the GoPro, but look at that. I can swing the camera around and follow the plane as he comes around. And during this flight, this was also after I broke one of the inside PLA prop guard duct guards, and I had to pull that out of there, so there might be a little extra vibration on this particular video. And right there was sort of a tumble. When I did a really hard turn, the quad kind of freaked out for a second because of that high CG of my camera. But the perfect day to fly, you guys. This was a beautiful day out on the tree farm, and I have to say that I'm so happy that there was a plane there to be able to chase. It's really cool footage when you can chase a buddy's plane. It's like one of my favorite things to do in FPV. Coming back out over this runway. Really nice. But I like the color scheme on this one, and it stands out a little bit better than the other quads that I have, the other 3-inch Cinewhoops. Super stable platform. If you want to put a GoPro on here, it does come with a GoPro mount, and I believe it fits all the way up to the 8. So if you guys have the brand new GoPro 8, it will fit that one. Such a cool camera though, the 361R. Getting back on the runway, almost landed on the runway. Nice landing. I would have probably nosed over and killed the pilot. Really awesome. Really nice. So I'm happy with the performance of this quad. I think the flight times are long. I think that the frame could, if it was any thicker, it would be heavier, and that's the difficult decision you have to make. You're gonna have a frame that you can't break, but you're also gonna have a much lighter frame. So it's a trade-off. You know, it's totally up to you guys which one you decide to get. But I feel like this one did really well. I'm happy with it. I'm not happy that the frame broke. That's probably my biggest pet peeve of my entire session, but that was kind of my fault. The weight of the camera on the top, when it bent over, it actually just snapped this piece up, and it's just, you know, that when it flipped over, it landed right on its head during that crash, and that was my fault. But as far as the quad's performance, very smooth, predictable. The tune is good. Not a lot of flip on it, which was nice. Not a lot of washout or any problems with it bailing out on me. I couldn't freak that flight controller out. Top and bottom battery mount options is kind of nice. I chose to run mine on the bottom just because I was going to put my 360 cam up top, and I'll experiment later with some other quads for you guys and put that camera on the bottom. You can also put a GoPro up front if you're one of those guys. It also does come with a GoPro holder, which is cool. It comes with a TPU GoPro holder, sits right up front. It also has a lens protector on the front as well. You can snap on it. It fits I believe it fits the 6, 7, and 8 versions of the GoPro. So if you get the analog version, this one's about $200, and the DJI one's around $300. So I'm gonna say probably about 4.8 stars, being the lightest of these bunch. 1 thumbs up for this particular quad, and out of the bunch, I really enjoyed this one. I think it looks really cool too. I love the red and the blue. Guys, I'm Justin Davis. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.